Starting in Tutorial Island, every player goes through the same timeless experience, learning all their basic skills and getting items like a fishing net, an axe, a tinderbox, and so much more, all to be dropped off at your bank or the floor, and forgotten for a while as you enjoy your adventures. But for me, that's not the case. One of the most common items in the game could cause me 300 hours of suffering. All because this one axe, in addition to a knife and a tinderbox, unlocks 3 entire skills and the need for over 200 levels to grind. And unlike any other account that could easily get axe upgrades as they level up or use the best trees or spots for their level, I don't have those luxuries. So why am I doing this to myself? Well, this is Chunk Ahoy, my one chunk Ironman. RuneScape's map is divided into thousands of chunks, and I'm locked to a single chunk, aiming to unlock the map, one chunk at a time, starting from Port Sarim. And now I've rolled the Falador farm chunk. Let's see what we've gotten ourselves into. In order to finish this chunk and unlock the next chunk, I need to complete a bunch of tasks. I must obtain and equip the following. A black cape, always dropped from hoodless highwaymen, not the non-hooded highwaymen. An iron bolt dropped at a rate of 1 in 20 from said highwaymen. Highwaymen? That's such a tongue twister. This will require me to get 26 range to wield the iron bolts with my beautiful limited edition crossbow. I also have to start Corsair Curse, but of course I can't finish it. And last but not least, I have to pet the dog. I mean, check out Sarah's shop for a Falador Easy Diary task. Pet the dog. A quick chunk, let's get to it. Falador Farm I go. Wait, oh no. This isn't Falador Farm. This is the dark side of Gielinor. Wait, please, Dark Wizards, please stop. No, not my pixels. I'm sorry you had to see that upsetting footage. The evil magic of those Dark Wizards attacked my recording software. So, I apologize for any bitrate issues in this episode. It was all Dark Wizards. Not me. Dark Wizards. Okay? I've just unlocked my new chunk. Now it's time to go talk to Captain Talk. Yeah, I know, that's a funny one. So, what do you need? My crew, they're lazy at times, but they're nice. Okay, yeah. And there's a curse, of course. Okay, will I help you? Yeah, of course I will. I don't want to watch your cutscene though, and I don't think anyone else does. Ah, shoot, I don't have much choice. I'm just kidding, No need for you to suffer also.
1 hour later.
Okay, that's done. Task completed. It looks like I'm gonna have to wait till I've unlocked the Remington chunk in order to actually finish this quest. Okay, it's time to complete the next chunk task, and we're going to go talk to Sarah, check out her farming shop. I think she just sells mostly kind of fruits and farming supplies, nothing serious. Okay, some pretty standard stuff, just a bunch of farming equipment and some baskets and stuff. Chunk task completed. There's also a bunch of cows as a potential training method, so that's nice. And on the right here, we have the Falador farming patch. But remember, farming is passive and I don't really have access to much seed. I do have a really important task to pet the Dohgey over there. Hello? Woof. Chunk task completed. That was the major thing. And I also have access to chickens, which unlocks some feathers in future fletching grinds. So while this isn't actually in my chunks, it's something pretty cool to note. They don't spawn in my chunk, but the guards spawning in the adjacent chunk regularly wander in. And I can pickpocket them because I have over 40 thieving, and they get pickpocketed for 30 GP. That's 10 times the pickpockets of men and women, who I pickpocketed for 3 GP for 20,000 times in Port Sarim. So honestly, I mean, it's not going to be 10 times the money because there is more fail rate, but that's insane. It's also a chunk task for Falador, which is, or Falador adjacent beside me for the diary, which is pretty nice. Getting it off for the future. All right, enough chunk fanboying over the pickpocketing, which is not even actually in my chunk. I'm really happy I have a good moneymaker, but it's time to head off to our obtain and equip tasks. So I'm gonna go to the highwayman. There's 2 types. We have the hooded highwayman and the unhooded highwayman. The hooded highwaymen suck. They just drop bones. I'm gonna go show you that. But anyway, while I kill this guy. Okay. So we have the unhooded ones, and they drop the capes at a guaranteed 100% rate. And they also drop the iron bolts at a 1 in 20 rate, if I recall. So, okay, just the bones, and now let's take you on. If I'm correct and not really dumb, you will have the cape. There we go. Okay, that is a chunk task complete and the first cape slot and best in slot fashion. All right, it's time to go for the iron bolts. Will you have the air bolts? It's really nice how I can actually kind of lure them into the chunk with range. I know I have no range like level, but oh, 38 strength. But it is still pretty nice that I can actually get them in that way. Otherwise, I'd have to keep world hopping. Will you have the iron bolts? Come on, come on. Yes! Okay, iron bolts obtained. Now I just need to get the range levels to use them. For anyone who's watched my previous episodes, I think you know what's about to happen. Does this grind look familiar to anyone? Okay, cue the seagull montage. And level 2 ranged, first range level, okay. 38 HP, nice. And 3 ranged. 4 ranged. 5 range, let's go. Okay. You get the idea, no need to repeat that. Alright, so I had the realization that I must correct a mistake. I need to run through all these locked chunks to fly to Varlamore for 1 millisecond and back, so that Varlamore is unlockable by charter ship. This is not for the faint of heart to see. I'm sorry. And we're in Varlamore. Okay, that was your little taste of Varlamore, and I hope to see Varlamore soon. Back to the pain of my mistake. Okay, home sweet home. That really hurt to do, but I am back, and hopefully I don't need to make any mistake corrections anymore. And 10 ranged. I'll be 26 before you blink. Don't miss it. 26 ranged. I told you not to blink. Okay, anyone miss that? Let's quickly recap Falador Farm. So I obtained and equipped the black cape and iron bolts from Highwayman. This got me started on range, getting up to 26 range to equip the iron bolts. I started Corsair Curse, I checked out Sarah's shop for a Falador easy diary task, and I pet the Dohgey, a must do. Okay, that's our chunk, time to move on to the next one. Okay, at this point I have about 20 potential rolls, so I'm going to breeze through the previous ones. Asgarnia Ice Dungeon. There's Ice Giants, so this is a bone zone grind for a long bone and for a curved bone, as well as 55 magic for high alchemy. Alright, next we have Remington. So there's a range shop, which is pretty nice. There's a cool quest and a small mining grind for gold, but no shooting stars. Remember, I'm a fan of being thematic to the chunks. Last worry is that a POH unlocks potential future death chunks in any major city within a state agent. Musa Docks. Nothing, but brings me closer to 99 smithing. Entrana. Glass blowing grind from 1 to 87, and a furnace that's 2 ships off of a bank. Yikes. Catherby. 85 cooking for a meat pie, but scary because it's sandwiched between a 99 fire making and a 99 fletching grind, as soon as you get an axe and a tinderbox. Brimhaven. This is a nothing burger, but it's close to 2 major death chunks with 99 agility and the Tazar fight caves with Jad and more. Port Sarim. This is a huge grind. I would have to get 91 cooking for a manta ray, as well as unlocking mining, woodcutting, and fletching, and fire making as skills. That would take a while. Corsair Cove. There's nothing here, but it is close to ogre shamans and warriors, which would be cool. Pest control. As it's a minigame, I would unlock both chunks since I don't like avoiding thematic content this way. This would leave me well geared to take on the world, if I survive the death chunk that is, of high fire making, fletching, woodcutting, and a whole 100 combat grind from it. I don't want it, but I want it. Fort Biscarilius. There's nothing here, just a free chunk that unlocks more chill Karen to explore. South Woodland Chunk. So here we have an iron axe drop, which gives me the woodcutting, fletching, and fire making grind, but better than a bronze one, and a small magic grind for Telegraph Dual Laurens. Since I land past 9 Hunter, I'd also unlock bird snaring to get 39 Hunter to smoke up a hunter trap. Now the North Woodland Chunk. This is Moss Giant, so this is a bone zone grind for the long bone and the curved bone, as well as 55 magic for high alchemy. Okay, that was the previous chunks discussed. Now let's go and discuss the new rollable chunks I've unlocked, including the 3 I already should have without my Varlamore oopsie daisy. First up in Varlamore, we have the Fortis Cawthon, or Fortis Docks if you don't know how to say those words. There are actual guard spawns in here, and there's also a knife and a tinderbox, meaning I need to burn a log and fletch a basic unstrung longbow, but also get 55 magic for high alchemy due to guards dropping a nature rune as a 1 in 128 drop. It's not bad, honestly. Having no bank without charter ships would suck a bit, and also the no staff means manual casting, but the guards are much better of a moneymaker for rune costs, and I wouldn't need to hunt them down. Next is the Sunset Coast. This chunk has some huge grinds. Why? Because it has a general store where I can buy a bronze axe, a knife, and a tinderbox. Paired with yew trees in 2 of my chunks, this would give me a large woodcutting, fletching, and fire making grind. There's also a big net, so I'd have to go get a big bass. Solid nope, but I guess the bronze axe is common. And last of the Varlamore chunks is the Alderan Docks. Like the Fortis chunk before, it has guards, so 55 magic for alchemy. Would be neat to explore this little island though. I've never really been on my main. Okay, going back to the mainland, let's talk about the 4 rollable chunks Falador Farm added to my potential chunk rolls. First off, let's start with Falador South Wall. Guards spawn here, so you know the drill. 55 magic for high alchs, and also a nice money maker. And then there's the dreaded East Falador chunk. Why is it dreaded? This chunk has the mining skill cape in it, and with that, some smithing, as well as a bunch of medium-sized combat grinds to equip the new gear I need for smithing. Please, please no. Also to briefly mention West Falador. It's not rollable yet, but I have a light source and a spade, so this would cause me to grind for the mole pet. Given my current gear and lack of an altar or Falador hard diary, this would be beyond brutal, if even barely possible. Next up we have North Draenor. This would be a 55 magic grind due to zombies and skeletons dropping nature runes, not the guards as usual, as well as a few quick items to obtain and equip, and also starting the quest Vampire Slayer. Last but definitely not least, South Draenor. Now that I've unlocked the farm chunk, I can actually go along the wall down to South Draenor. Previously that wall was blocking me even though I had the adjacent chunk. This chunk is the full forestry package, and would have a huge grind for woodcutting, fletching, and firemaking, with many collection log slots to boot. It also has the Master Farmer, which means I can get a lot of seeds and start passively farming much more than a Rakescape game. And of course 99 farming skill cape, but then again, unless I roll Tithe Farm for active farming, it'll be a passive skill as it is insanely time gated, supply gated, and patch gated. Alright, I've said enough, now it's time to roll. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, I have 20 rolls, this could be anywhere. Oh my god, there's so many chunks. Come on, please, something good, something good, something... Oh, no, come on. Alright, the Sunset Coast. In order to finish this chunk and unlock the next chunk, I'm going to need to complete some tasks. To start off, I need to obtain and equip my best new in slot ranged helm, the Adamant Med Helm, for 2,496 GP. And of course, we have my new best in slot melee helm, the Adamant Full Helm, for 4,576 GP. Thanks to today's sponsor, Third's Brain Buckets Shop, located in Sunset Coast. Please sponsor me, someone. I'm also going to need to get some luxury goods, namely the leather boots and leather gloves with the big net unlock. And speaking of the big net, I'll need to fish up a big bass at a rate of 1 in 1,000. The meat and bones of this chunk, however, is in the unlock of a bronze axe, tinderbox, and knife. All because of my access to yew trees in Port Sarim and Land's End. I will need to get 60 woodcutting, and likely much more, to chop a yew tree. I'll need 60 fire making to burn said yew log, and I'll need 72 fletching to fletch the highest processed material from the yews, the yew shield. Which also means I'll need 40 defense to equip the yew shield once it's obtained. And last but not least, I need to pet molasses at Sunset Cove. I like this one. This is going to take a while, let's get to it. Alright, it is time to travel to Varlamore. Let's go to Sunset Coast. Come on, yes. So 900 GP later. And I have traveled to Varlamore. Smells like new continent to me. Okay, let's just double check. Nothing new in the charter. Okay. There's a sailor, fisher, and the general store. Okay. This is huge. So we have a bronze axe. We're gonna definitely need that. Bronze pickaxe for the future. Chisel, spade, tinderbox, knife, pestle mortar. Not gonna need it for a while, but rope. Yeah, that's fine for now. Okay, we have an anvil, and there's Thurid's brain buckets. So we're gonna get the Adamant Med Helm. Oh yeah, the prices are pretty high. So I don't actually have enough money for this right now. It's gonna really suck if I get 15 smithing, I'm going to have to use those iron bar spawns at the anvils. I'm just gonna get one of the helms for now. Yeah, the most expensive one. Looking good. Okay, that's a chunk task complete. Okay, so I need a good bit. That's not gonna be too hard. I need to make sure I have enough money to actually get back though. Who are you? Alderan. Okay, that's Alderan one. 20 coins, that's sweet. I mean, we can't go there yet, so that's fine. I need to find the big net. Ooh, pickpocketing. I mean, it's just the... Yeah, it's just 3 GP. Okay. Just they're basically normal men and women. Yeah, okay, let's go upstairs. Oh, there's the dog. I have no idea. I've never been here. Have you guys been here? I've definitely not been here. There's a bunch of beds. There's a grain spawn. There's a bunch of weird spawns. Why is there grain spawn here? Okay. There's a beer tankard. I mean, I guess if there's a keg somewhere, I can use that for unlimited beer. That's good to know. Why do the workers have levels when you can't actually attack them? So weird. Okay. What else is here? Go up. There's another floor. Inga. Okay. Well, there's a bread spawn. That's pretty cool. Unlimited food. If I only didn't already have unlimited food. Pretty much, you know. It looks nice from up here. That's a pretty nice view. Okay. Let's go back down. I still need to find that big net. Where is it? Like, do I need to look up a guide? Where's big net? All right, let's go check out this side. Maybe it's over here. It's so weird. Do I need to talk to someone for a big net? Ooh, flying fishing rod and a lobster pot. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have those, but... Interesting spawns to know. If I'm ever in the Gilner games, hey, that's useful knowledge. 0.0001% chance. There's a sand pit there. I don't know if I can use that for buckets of sand. Probably not, but... Okay, the big net is not lying over here. Yeah, nothing over here. Wait, that's a Fremnik boat. Did I discover lore? Oh my god, I almost forgot to go back for this. Head in the good boy. Oh my god, Dohgey chunk task completed. And again. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up the iron bar. Wait, hold up, that's the big net. Found you. The big net. Oh, finally. Also feather spawn, that's interesting. How many? 5 feathers. That could be useful in the future. Like while I'm doing, I mean, potentially if I'm going to pick up the iron bar, I could pick up the feathers as well. Like I would need to sell a few things to get some funds to return back and buy the helm. Because I'm going to be really poor after this. Okay, we're going to go back to Land's End. I am really poor, so I need to check the bank to see if I actually have anything to sell off at the general store. Yeah. Let's see if we have stuff. I did not actually have anything, so I'm gonna have to do pickpocketing. Beer real quick. Also 7 days game time. Cool. I wonder what's going on over there. That's a party. And I'm back. Okay. That should be enough for the other helm. Also enough to go and travel back. And then I brought a bunch of random extra things that I can sell. I don't know if they're worth anything, but... Okay. Adamant Med Helm obtained. That is a chunk task. Completed. Nice. Back in Port Sarim. Nice. 39 HP. Okay, it's time for a short training session to get my melees to base 40s. And maybe some doable clue steps if I'm lucky. 31 prayer. Gotta get a lot more levels. Ultimate strength's useful though. 40 strength. Nice. First of the base 40s. Rune Warhammer is not gonna happen. 35 defense. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna get samurai armor. 40 HP. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh my god, no way. I finally have 4 doable easy clue steps. I can actually get 100% easy clue chance. Oh my god, okay. Let's go turn these in and see if I get lucky. All right, let's get started. 0% chance for a first step completion, but I could get a doable step. And that ain't it. All right, step 2. I could get a doable step or 33% chance of a casket. That is not a casket. And not a doable step. Okay. Moving on to step 3, there's a 66% chance to get a casket. All right. And that is not a casket. And also not a doable step. All right. This is the last step and a guaranteed casket. Unfortunately, I couldn't save a doable step or get a new one, but I get this casket. Wow. I've played nearly 200 hours on this account. And my first easy clue step being juggled around 30 hours in. So for the quick mathers out there, that's 170 hours juggled for this one casket. You don't know how excited I am for this. I've been pretty excited to do this, so hope you all enjoy the reward of 170 hours of not letting clue steps despawn. It's time for my easy casket reward tier list. Okay, I'm gonna start off strong and say the number one thing I'm hoping for is the Black Axe at a 1 in 36 rarity. This would literally be a 225% increase in chopping speed over the bronze axe. Easy S tier that would take a huge chunk off my grind. It's kind of wild to think about that, right? A black axe is basically worthless for a main or an iron main, just wow. Okay, next up is the Staff of Air at a 1 in 36 rarity. Getting this would mean auto cast for future grinds, and 2, this is the most commonly used rune. If I get a magic grind, this would save me so much money. Unfortunately, no Staff of Fire in the drop table, but that would be pretty awesome if I could for high alchemy later. Still, this goes right to A tier. Following closely behind, and honestly kind of hurts to put it here because it looks so cool, the Amulet of Power T. At a 1 in 1404 rarity, this gives bonuses to every single combat stat, defensive and offensive. Also prayer, even an actual strength bonus, that's insane. So of course, this also goes to A tier. Moving down to B tier, I'm putting up every single one of the God Robes because they give a huge magic attack bonus, a prayer bonus, and they just really look cool. All the pieces have a 1 in 1400 rate though, so not huge chances. Going off to C tier, I'm going to start off strong with the Staff of Bob the Cat at a 1 in 1404 drop rate. It doesn't reduce runes, but I'm terrified of having to manual cast to 55 for high alchemy later, so I'd really like not to do that. Plus, it is really cool and it's a rare drop. Next off is the Amulet of Magic T at a 1 in 360 drop, and the original at a 1 in 40. These give plus 10 magic accuracy and will be huge for the magic grind. Not the most epic, but still, that's pretty cool. Right to C tier. Okay, and then going into C tier as well, I'm going to put every single range upgrade. These are all at a 1 in 36, and it'll be nice if I need to train my range more, but they're not the most impactful or exciting for me personally. The trimmed and gold versions are cooler, but they're also at a 1 in 1404 rate each, and also not the most useful. Still, would be nice. Okay, now to D tier. I'm going to toss in the monk robes and the blessings for a prayer bonus. That's for the future. I don't have protection prayers or an altar, so this wouldn't help for a while. Still, it's nice to think ahead. Now in E tier, I'm going to go and put all the cool cosmetic capes because I do love Fashionscape, and getting a 1 in 5616 drop would be epic. And I guess the other fashion clogs will also go in there. Everything else, straight to the gulag. I mean F tier, except for the golden apron. That's double F tier. If I get that and the crafting guild nearby me, I'd have to get 99 crafting. Okay, I get 2 to 4 rolls on 213 potential items in the rewards list. I can do this. Okay, wish me luck. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, there might not be a collection log, but that's 2 C tier items with a magic amulet giving plus 10 magic attack bonus, a huge boost to the mage setup, and then there's the studded chaps, which will be a good range leg upgrade for me. I can't say I'm not slightly disappointed getting no rares or collection logs, but overall this was pretty good loot with 2 new best in slot upgrades for me, and some nice neck fashion. I'll take that. Okay, 40 defense and 50 combat, nice. That is a chunk task complete, and now I have base 40s, that's awesome. Wow, took a bit. Okay, and the chunk clan community is being super nice as always. These guys are great, make it so easy to grind this. Time for some fishing. Fishing at my big bass, and I have the leather boots, that's a chunk task complete, nice. And there's another chunk task complete, leather gloves, new best in slots, coins. Wait, what? Third inventory, and I got the big bass. What, hold on, no way, that's a chunk task completed. Oh my god. Okay. I have 13 minus 2, 12, or 11 bass. I can math, I swear. 11 bass, I'm just so excited. That's an insane spoon, oh my god. Wow, that's awesome. Alright, time to start on the big 3 as they shall be referred to from now on. Woodcutting, fletching, and firemaking. I'll be leveling these 3 pretty evenly until I hit 30 firemaking and fletching, then I'll just be at willows until I'm done and focus on fletching. So first level, that's level 2 woodcutting. We've gotten our journey started. 3 woodcutting. 4 woodcutting, that was a little delayed. 5 woodcutting. And 6 woodcutting. Yeah, steel axe. I'm never gonna get that. Okay, it's time to do a little bit of fire making.
1 hour later.
It's taking a hot minute. Just give me a sec, okay? I'm a little nervous. I got performance anxiety. Crazy how much XP that is, though. Come on. I need to know. Everyone's waiting. Come on. And level 2 fire making. This is going to be a fast skill. 3 fire making. 4 fire making. And 5 fire making. And 10 wood cutting. 10 fire making. 15 fire making. We're skipping up a little bit. It's time to go fast. Level 2 fletching. Level 15 wood cutting. I can now chop oak logs. Level 3 fletching. And 4 fletching. Fletching is going to be a little slow for me, unfortunately. Come on. Come on. Do it for the YouTube, please. Come on. Chop a little faster.
1 week later.
I've been chopping for nearly a minute. 18 wood cutting. That was an epic fight. Felt like a boss battle there. 5 fletching. Now I can actually do some short bows. Unstrung, of course. 20 wood cutting. Not useful, but nice number. And 23 wood cutting. That's a 500 total level. 10 fletching. Longbows unstrung. 25 wood cutting. 15 fletching. And 30 wood cutting. That's a huge level, as that unlocks my best tree for training purposes, willow trees. And I'm taking my Ironman over here, my other Ironman, so that I can have them use the forestry backpack on the used. Oh my, I almost ran out there. To spawn me forestry events potentially. My main has 99 wood cutting. I know, big flex, it's so hard. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep them there. They're chopping, as you can see, the yew tree, obviously, that's what they're chopping. And they might spawn me some forestry events, which could give me some more experience or some interesting clogs. I'm just testing. 20 fletching. Oak shortbows. That's my first event. That's pretty fast experience, honestly. I'm gonna keep doing that. I mean, you know, I'm not getting any resources, but it's pretty fast experience, and the higher level I have, the better I'm gonna chop, since I'm not getting any axe upgrades. Yay, bronze axe. Oh, second event, the Endling. So this is actually more useful because it gives me woodcutting and fletching. A little bit annoying, but hey, that's just, you know, one click and bam. Yeah, if you didn't know, use menu entry swapper to make that easy. 34 woodcutting. And 20 fire making. 35 woodcutting. That's teaks, but there's none near me, unfortunately. I wish. And 25 fire making. This is it. We're in a streak. Come on. Ah, streak was ruined. 30 fire making. That's willows. Okay, I'm done fire making until I finish the fletching now. 40 wood cutting. 550 total also. Nice. Just got back to Port Sarim, and here's a clue already. Oh my god. Yes. This is my second doable clue step. I've been juggling for so long. I just need one more for a 100% opening rate. And 41 wood cutting. That means I can equip the rune axe. If I could ever get one. A man can dream. And 30 fletching. Nice. Imagine if I actually had raking as a primary training method. This is what you and I would see for pretty much forever. Especially if I rolled the skilling cape right beside me in Draenor. And that's 7 farming. From raking, I can actually grow cabbages and plan to grow one as one of my passive farming tasks. Except the only way, as you can see, to grow cabbages and plant one is to collect 3 seeds. This may take a minute. I'm gonna uproot the entire cabbage patch. If you're enjoying the video, I'd really appreciate some support if you can take a moment to like and subscribe. And shout out to all the amazing people who sent me encouraging messages on my latest grind in game. Even one amazing person actually gave me a bond. Thank you so much. Also, I've got a Discord server now, so if you want to hang out, ask questions, or be part of my journey, there's a link in the description below. Just one more to go. Come on. Come on, next. Yes! Yes, that was it. 3rd cabbage seed. Nice. Okay, time to actually plant a cabbage. Just getting a nice little bit of farming in. I wonder how much crazy experience this is going to be. I'm so excited for the best farming method. 10 from the compost, another 18 for planting, and 35 fletching. I can now fletch willow shortbows, so I can actually use the willow trees here. I'm going to live here for about a month now, and a medium clue. Okay, I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room here. Well, I do technically have one doable step. It's out of 164 possible medium clue steps. It's so rare, given that my best odds are a 1 in 128 from guards, meaning that to get 5 doable steps, I need to kill 104,960 yards just to be on rate, not including if I went dry. And I know I would. And woodcutting rates would be even worse. So I likely check these clues, and if I get a doable step, I'll store it, but I won't be putting effort into them yet. Just beginner and easy clues. And this also applies obviously to hard and elites, and masters if I ever get them. This is my first beehive forestry event. I actually can't get construction experience here, so basically I'm just spending logs for woodcutting experience. Not the most useful, unfortunately. But over here is 46 woodcutting and parts. And my first sapling forestry event. So this actually gives me farming experience, which is not a lot at all. But hey, this is still pretty nice to try. My cabbages! They survived, nice. That's a passive farming task completed. Fun fact, the leprechaun in this specific location actually hates cabbages and will refuse to note them. The reason why is that Jagex wanted to stop players from using the best moneymaker in the game, noting infinite picked cabbages. And back in 2016, as an April Fool's event, a cabbage picking skill was temporarily in the game. 40 fletching, this is a huge level. I can now do willow longbows unstrung, which is my best training method until the end of the chunk and for the future. And my first pheasant forestry event. So this actually gives thieving and woodcutting. Not really that useful right now, but I do have a chance to get some collection logs, including the beaver transmog, if I ever get the beaver. Still neat though, I'm gonna try a little. And 42 fletching. This one is actually potentially useful because it gives me willow shields. They give the same XP per log as willow longbows, but they use 2 logs instead, meaning less trips to the deposit box, but also less GP later. So you win some, you lose some. And 45 fletching. 55 woodcutting. We keep on chopping. 58 woodcutting, and now I'm 600 total level. Nice progress. And here is 50 fletching, 60 woodcutting. I am breezing through this. I can now chop yew trees, which is... Come on. Come on. Any day now. Chunk task completed. Nice. Did I just get hit on? Today's a good day. And here's a friend supporting me in their finest fashionscape. Ooh, another mystery box. Can I hope for another spoon? I cannot. And that's 61 woodcutting. I can now wield a dragon axe. Never. Holding strong with the hunter lamping. And that is 10 hunter. Nice. And 55 fletching. And that's 65 woodcutting. I in fact do not like my present, Giles. Thank you. That's 60 fletching. I'm woodcutting with my new friend Mariner Chunk and got these nice words of motivation. Thanks. I will keep it up. Fan favorite Isaac Chunk returns in the same grind. And here is 12 hunter. Let's go. And because I am a child at heart, 69 woodcutting. Nice. And 70 woodcutting. And with this level I unlock yew shortbows, 65 fletching. Unfortunately not the best experience, so bye-bye. And here is 15 hunter. We're making progress. And here is a true gamer Skippy Chunk with this cool skill cape. And that's 14 farming, all from raking. And funny number coming in, that's 69 fletching. Nice. And 75 woodcutting. That means if I ever get magic trees, I now can chop them. And here's 2 Chunk fans who search me up after seeing me. I always appreciate the support. Thanks Potterfrog and Swamp Shifter. Here is 70 fletching, just 2 more to go. Just found a chunker in peak fashionscape. Everyone say hello to Chunk Esquire the cow. And with this lamp, I have a huge level. That's 17 hunter, meaning if I unlock Xanaris, I'll allow myself to do Puro. Okay, I just got a lamp and I am pretty done with this grind. So, fletching time. That is 72 fletching. I can now craft a yew shield. Okay, let's go do that. This has been my longest singular chunk task so far, so it feels really good to get this done. 1 yew shield coming up. Nice. That is a chunk task completed. And also no negative stats, so that's all positive. But I'll see myself out. I'm just so happy to be done. Now let's look at all the different fletching stuff I made in order to get 72 fletching. Quite a lot. Now this grind is just going to be a nice treat in comparison. I'm going to zoom through these levels. That is 35 fire making, 40 fire making, 45 fire making, 50 fire making. Bad YouTuber missed 55, but here is 60 fire making. Woo! All done. Now I just need to burn that one U log, and we have a chunk task completed. And chunk task complete. All chunk tasks complete. Oh my god. I am now done with the forestry-less forestry chunk. Let's wrap up this long chunk grind. I was able to buy upgrades for melee and range with my new adamant full helm and adamant med helm from the helm shop in Sunset Coast. I finally got glove and boot slots with actual stats. Kind of. I hard spooned the big bass at 11 bass fish from the 1 in 1000 rate. That's huge. And most time consuming of all, I deforested my chunks for 78 woodcutting, 18 over the task by the way, fletched around 22,000 logs into unstrung bows for 72 fletching, and burned around 4,000 logs in a pyromaniac frenzy to hit 60 fire making, which let me make a U shield that I promptly equipped after getting 40 defense. And I pet the Dohgey. That's important. This took a while, but it was bound to happen sooner or later. So let's get to the next rolls. Moving on to the chunk rolls, after unlocking 3 new skills and finishing off some solid grinds, a bunch of my chunks just got a lot less scary, although a few got horrifying. So, Catherbeam. This now truly brings me right beside 2 brutal skill cape chunks, because they have been primed to blow me up, with fire making and fletching to 99. Port Sarim and pest control. These still have huge grinds, but 3 skills have been shaved off the bucket list, and that takes a load off my mind. The South Woodland chunk. This just becomes a small grind unlocking hunter and starting magic training, so no big deal. Now there's one new rollable chunk I've unlocked. I have Sunset Fishing Cove, which honestly gives me nothing new, just some fishing spots near No Bay. However, if I unlock a hunter training method, I'll have to get 65 hunter to catch a sunlight moth. And the worst thing for my iron self though, I don't have access to jars, so I'm just gonna have to hunt these for experience and not use, which makes me sad. Okay, now it's time to get rolling again. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh my god, I have 20 chunks I can roll. Please, please be an easy chunk. Please be an easy chunk. Come on, something easy, something free. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, another coast unlocked. That is Corsair Cove. I think this might be a little bit too easy though. There's no tasks. Okay, well, time to explore and find out. Okay, time to head off to Corsair Cove. Nice. A hefty 1,800 coins later, and I'm here. I see more seagulls. That's great. There's a ram. Okay. And there's the bank I can't use until I finish the Corsair's Cursed quest, sadly, which is a few chunks away. And there's nothing. A whole lot of nothing. There's literally dead trees. That's how dead this chunk is. Yeah, shoo. Go away. Okay, fine. There's rocks blocking me from the other chunk. And it looks like I need 10 agility to go to the chunk beside me. So nope. And let's go take a look at my last possible chance. Yeah, it's definitely blocked off by trees. There's no way I can get to the next chunk. Okay, that's it. I now have 1 new rollable chunk again, so this is gonna be fast. This is the Corsair South Shore chunk, which is a mouthful, that has the Ogre's Dungeon. This would be my hardest bone zone grind as they have a combat level of 82, which is 29 levels more than the level 53 ice giants, and almost double the level 42 moss giants I could roll. And of course, there's a 55 magic grind for high alchemy with their nature rune drops. Alright, that was quick, so it means it's time for another roll. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. This is too much excitement for one episode. Okay, 20 possible rolls. What's it gonna be? Something good, something good? South Kren Woodland. Nice. Okay. I think that's my first legitimate hunter training method and grind, as well as there's barbarian NPCs, so they have an interesting drop table, I think. Time to go look on the next episode of Chunk Ahoy. Stay tuned.